Okay. Now, before I go back to eat my tacos, I said I was going to do a follow up, and it had to do with the horror of Babylon. You are always trying to interpret dreams. Seriously, that's what you do. I am a dreamer, and I'm always trying to interpret dreams, and I know for a fact that I have a gift and an aptitude to interpret dreams, but at the same time, I don't do it for everybody because it's not my gig unless I'm instructed. Because I mean, I have to get the information from spirit. My father doesn't always want me to relay information, but there's certain people I can relay information to, and I have, even though they know I'm on my friends list. So now, what's the problem? Actually, it's not a problem. But I know that little sis, Lisa Nunley, posted something where they said Donald Trump was a new Messiah. And I know why she posted it, but at the same time, she got to understand something. The people that are going to see that post are not necessarily going to understand that post. That it made George Bush, Barack Obama, it made everybody a Messiah or Antichrist. That's not the problem. See, the thing is, there's so much confusion and chaos in this world in terms of what is even acceptable behavior. You will never be able to sit there and identify one soul as anything. You have to understand something. What you're looking for might be under your nose and doesn't exist. Because, pay attention, and pay attention good. What you believe is what now guides you. Which means, as you live your life, the people who you celebrate, the people who you revere, the people who you don't have a problem with versus the people that you do, that's all there is. So there is no Christ. There is no Messiah. There is no Antichrist. It's just you. Now, let's take it to another level that you might not want to entertain, but it's actually important to understand. You're trying to make peace with all these collective thoughts and process. And at the same time trying to do away with certain thoughts and process as if there's rational thought in that which you're now dealing with. That ain't happening either. Because you have to understand something. Collective consciousness is basically one mind. In a nutshell. One mind. Not your mind. Not their mind. Not that guy over there's mind. One mind. See, God didn't fuck himself. Mankind did. Because he says, this is my creation. Thoughts and process. No matter individualized, free will, and all that kind of stuff and expression, everything that you are, God knew what you were. And he put you in motion. And then the devil came along. Because the devil said, I ain't going to submit to that. Then God knew what the devil was. He said, okay. He cast him out. And then he put him in the world. And the first thing he actually was able to talk to was not a man. Pay attention. He talked to a woman. Because the women are the seeds of life. There was no reason why he didn't talk to a man first. Because the man pretty much don't do anything unless a woman tells him. Adam did that. She won't lay with me. He just cried. Boo, boo, boo. And if you don't understand Jewish lore, I told you Lilith was the first woman. And she said, hell the fuck no. She was first feminist. And then they call her devourer of babies. What? Because she believed in, like, not wanting to give birth to your progeny? So I guess that means that she was all about pro-choice? Come on, people. I thought you had studied all this shit to know it. And at the same time, if you're going to attribute it to an offshoot of what you say is now your lineage, because Judaism was where Christ came from, and then Christianity is what he taught, and then you have the Catholicism, you have the Protestants, you have the Baptists. I mean, you come on, you want me to name everything? But then you have people like the Jehovah's Witnesses. They say, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But then at the same time, you got the Mormons, and the Mormons sit there and say, well, we know that our prophet knew Jesus. Everybody always knows Jesus. Jesus is nothing to anybody other than a play toy. As you are dogs and cats playing with your own individuality and your spirituality and all that kind of stuff. All you're doing is sitting there saying that whatever we say Jesus is what he must now be. Doreen did that shit. And now she's talking about she had found the real Jesus. Bitch is looking for Jesus. Did the same thing with the angels. Oh, I only talked to Archangel Michael. That's what Doreen said. That would tell you something. Lisa Beachy. And the rest of you. I can't think of that man's name. I don't even care. It's like a lot of people out there who call themselves angel whisperers. I only talk to. How did you prove that they were actually messengers of God? Well, you know, they gave me. I'm going to tell you what the true angels of God told me when my father was waking me up. They said, you get your ass on that plane and you go see what they talking about, because we ain't giving you nothing. Not a private partner spot or nothing like that. We ain't doing that shit. You know better. That shit was funny, but it was true. Now, when I got to that angel camp that Doreen had in Hawaii, did that mean that I didn't get an upgrade? Yeah, I got an upgrade. I flew coach with everybody else. And had straight up assholes on the plane with me. You know, you sit there talking about, I am so blessed. Oh, excuse me. I got that shit out. I would have a problem. The thing is, they had another lady that was sitting there cleaning the place up. She came in and I said, you had to clean the place? She said, yeah. I said, can you get me a roll of toilet paper? Because they still had toilet paper out of the bathroom. And she gave it to me. So now, at least if I need to wipe my ass tomorrow, I got toilet paper to do it. Because these people I can't trust. Because they're all assholes. Who knows? Maybe they're angel whisperers, looking out for themselves. And step. See, you don't want to see what I see about you. You don't want to know what I know. Now, I said I was going to do a follow-up. I was going to tell you about the whore of Babylon. It's in the dream. You know, Revelation. When the whore came out of the sea. It was a beast came out of the sea. It had like 7 heads and stuff and crowns and stuff. And there was this woman riding it. And then the people were like praising it and following it. I don't understand why you don't see it the same way I see it. But it is what it is. Women lead this new age spiritual movement. They're always talking about where the men at. because they channeling shit they ain't got no business channeling because they could. They did that shit going back to Adam and Eve, and at the same time took exception to that. But instead of proving it to not be true, they are now proving it to be very true. Colette Barry Reed and Lisa Williams and Lisa Beachy and all that kind of stuff. All you women are basically channeling shit you ain't got no business channeling. Okay, Esther Hicks. Seriously. And the men who follow you, they basically are sitting there celebrating the same thing that you're celebrating. Because you got something out of nothing. But at the same time, what you got you here. And the people that they brought you to, well, they might not be as keenly aware, which means they're going to take their shit out on you. As they start to learn, they're going to sit down and say, oh, you're like Miss Cleo. Oh, see, it's not going to be a lawsuit. Because, see, sometimes motherfuckers can't wait for the court system to answer their call. They're going to take it out on you. I ain't saying that as a prediction. I just know what's coming. Because it's in the storyline. I told you, y'all repeating all kind of shit. All you gotta do is look at it. And you ain't worried about it. Because you sitting there saying, well, I'll just die. No. First off, you gotta understand something. There is a separation of souls taking place. And that means that when you die, you're going to come back. But not at the time that you think you're going back. You're going to come back to burn. You don't see that. I do. Because I've already seen it. I'm not even tripping. If that's where you want to go, hey, who am I to stand in your way? I'm going to step out the way and say, that's the door. Go ahead, do it. You say, I don't believe that. Nobody asks you what you believe. Because the thing is, what you believed at one point in time fucked up a whole lot of people. And what you're doing now is still fucking up a whole lot of people. So don't sit there and tell me about what you believe as being that which is key to actually undo all these other people out here who have a belief system that you now don't have a contract with, and they can fuck you. I think I missed something. Oh, I didn't really miss anything, but it was one other thing you wanted me to say. It had to do with what? The first part. What was the first part? I see now he's trying to talk to me like in that lower energy y'all talking about. Okay. What was it? Yeah. Y'all talking about God loves everything and stuff, but the thing is, you have to understand, when you actually make that statement, it's nonsensical. Because why would you make that statement? Because at the same time, if God loves everything and you know he loves everything, but you don't love everything, then how the fuck do you sit there and say you serve God? And then he wants to know, where's the devil in the mix of what you're asking? Because you're sitting there saying that the devil says you now must do away with some shit, because that was the devil's primary role, to make sure that certain things were done away with, and he wanted mankind to be done away with, and that is still a part of the equation. But he says, you say you know everything. I want you to keep talking. Because the thing is, every time you open your mouth and you say certain things, you pretty much lay out your own rope for hanging. Because see, right now, black people are sitting there up in arms about the fact that nooses are showing up at their workplaces and in schools and stuff like that. Now, you do realize that anybody puts a noose out there for you, they put down a noose for themselves. Oh, Father, no, este contanate este pata eto. He said he's going to give the devil what he wants. The devil wants to kill a lot of people, and y'all going to watch people die. That's what's coming. See, that's in the physical. The Page of Pentacles speaks to the physical of what's to be realized. Now, I'm not reading for myself. I'm reading for you, so that's why that's some fucked up shit. And I don't know what to tell you. And you can sit there and say, well, we'll just get rid of this nigga. We ain't got to worry about it. No. Because this nigga's not your problem. The ones that are your problem are the ones you can't touch. That's why you're the fool. You don't even know what has been launched. You don't know what is happening. And at the same time, you sit there and say that I am the one who's stupid. I ain't stupid. I learned all this shit. What did you learn? I'm sitting here trying to get a job so I can keep a roof on my head. Because the thing is, I don't want to sleep on the street. That's not me. And what I have to say or what I know is not of worth. You've already put that value on there. You do realize that, don't you? Because you did not. When I sat there and said, well, I have a GoFundMe account, none of you contributed to it. Now, I told you Miss Maggie, she put money direct in my bank account because we had that relationship. But the rest of you ain't did shit. I can start naming your names. Do you want me to read you off my friends list? Who did not do shit? And my other friend, he did shit. But you don't know how we rearrange the tapestry. But you ain't worried about that, are you? Because the thing is, what you're seeing in the world now is going to grow exponentially because it's my parting gift to you because my father said I'm being retired. See, that's when him and I are in agreement. I'm going to make sure that everybody who's associated with Miss Maggie and my other friend who can take care of me is taken care of. But the rest of you, well, you got to work the program. And you going to sit there and say, well, you said, oh, I said a lot of stuff, and you are to be blessed. But the thing is, if you are looking at me, and you do realize, I ain't won the lottery. Seriously. I haven't won shit. But at the same time, everything that's going on in this world that I've been telling you about that is true, that's a part of my payout. It's like, why am I sitting there taking care of you? You didn't want to take care of me. So, as these storms are raging, these floods are happening, and you're losing everything, and you don't really have a Christian church, then I'm being paid out. I told my father I didn't like it, but at the same time, he said, don't worry, the righteous will never be forsaken, which means the people who are doing the work and the people who are still there for one another. And the rest of you, y'all want to sit there and wait and see. See, wait and see is going to bite you in the ass. Because as soon as you realize, oh, yeah, that's true, the door's already closed. I really don't give a fuck. So, I guess tomorrow I'll worry about Saturday, Thursday, or whatever day it is, that I have to pay this lady this money and I ain't got no money to pay. I ain't gonna worry about it. Even though I could have had some money for her, but you know what? They didn't want to do that. See, the whore of Babylon came out of the sea of the ocean, which basically is God's consciousness. And these women basically were teaching you as psychics and mediums and mentors and more. Many heads, 7 crowns. They anointed themselves as being pristine, religious, and more. Well, not religious, but you know, they just are supposed to be glorified. And as she wore and prostituted herself in terms of what her abilities were, what did she tell the people? I can do all this stuff. And the people followed her, male and female the same, and celebrated her. And at the same time, betrayed themselves. I don't care about you and your psychic abilities, or your spirituality, or your ministries and whatnot. You all have many heads, and you all wear many crowns, and you all say, I am supposed to be celebrated. You did that because you believe man was celebrated over you, which is bullshit. The only person who celebrated is God. And you all fell hook, line, and sinker for the devil's lies. So I tell you what, go back and read about the whore of Babylon, and then revisit what little sis said about Donald Trump being a Messiah. Oh, he's a messenger, all right, but he's not the messenger you think. Ooh, I'm coughing. Yeah, choke on that shit. Ain't got nothing to do with God. But he does have something to do with the Antichrist. Now he's playing Merry Merry Christmas. TLC. You have a happy new year. Capiche?